Lesnar threatens Oba Femi. Brock vs. Oba Femi begins. Oba Femi faces Lesnar. Raw erupts over Lesnar. Lesnar declares war. What happens when the most terrifying destroyer in WWE history suddenly becomes obsessed with a man who looks completely unafraid of him? And what if Brock Lesnar didn't come back to win championships this time, but to erase somebody before they become bigger than the entire company itself? Because after what happened on Raw, I honestly think we're watching the beginning of something way more dangerous than a normal WWE rivalry. This didn't feel like a setup for a match. It felt personal. Weirdly personal. And if you watched Brock Lesnar's face closely during that segment, you probably noticed it too. The man wasn't smiling. He wasn't playing to the crowd. He wasn't even doing that usual country farm guy who likes violence energy. No. This version of Brock looked offended. Like Oba Femi had committed a crime just by existing. And somehow, that made the entire thing even scarier. So Raw opens, the crowd is already loud, people are holding signs, commentary is doing their usual historic ninth speech that they say every single week, like Michael Cole legally cannot enter an arena unless he says the words massive implications. You know how it goes. But then the atmosphere starts changing. Slowly. The lights dim just enough for the audience to realize something's coming. Not a happy surprise either. One of those moments where people stop talking because instinct kicks in before the music even hits. Then boom. Brock Lesnar's music. And listen, I don't care how many times we've seen this man return. It still feels different every single time. Some wrestlers come out and you think, cool, this should be fun. Brock comes out and the entire arena reacts like a tornado warning just appeared on everybody's phone. There's this weird panic mixed with excitement. Fans stand up immediately. Security suddenly looks nervous. Commentary starts yelling. Somewhere backstage, probably 3 referees started reconsidering their career choices. Brock walks down slowly, no smile, no cowboy bounce, no joking around. Just pure intimidation. The camera catches fans screaming, little kids losing their minds, grown adults looking like they accidentally made eye contact with a grizzly bear. And Brock doesn't acknowledge any of it. That's the detail that mattered most. Because when Brock ignores the crowd, somebody is about to suffer. Now here's where things got really interesting. Brock grabs the microphone, pauses for a long time, and the crowd starts chanting his name. Normally he lets Paul Heyman do the talking, right? But not tonight. Tonight Brock wanted every single word to come directly from him. And honestly, that alone told us this was serious. Then he says it. I am going to rule over Oba Femi. Not beat him. Not challenge him. Not embarrass him. Rule over him. That wording was insane. It sounded less like a wrestling promo and more like a king declaring war on a future rival prince before he takes the throne. And the crowd immediately exploded because everybody understood what Brock was really saying underneath the threat. He sees Oba Femi as a problem. A future problem. Maybe even the future of WWE itself. And if you've been watching Oba Femi lately, you know exactly why Brock would feel that way. Because Oba doesn't move like a rookie. He doesn't talk like somebody trying to impress veterans. He walks around WWE like he already owns the place. That kind of confidence irritates legends. Especially legends who built their entire careers on being the final boss nobody could replace. And suddenly this younger monster shows up, bigger than most people, freakishly athletic, calm under pressure, and carrying himself like fear simply doesn't exist in his DNA. That's dangerous. And Brock knows dangerous better than anybody. The camera cuts backstage after Brock's promo and you can literally feel tension spreading through the arena. Wrestlers are watching monitors. Commentary keeps repeating Brock's words like they're trying to process what they just heard. Fans online instantly start freaking out. Memes start appearing within seconds because wrestling fans are somehow faster than emergency response teams when chaos happens. One guy already edited Oba Femi into a Godzilla poster before the segment even ended. Incredible commitment, honestly. But then comes the real twist. Oba Femi walks out. No hesitation. No backup. No nervous expression. Nothing. The man just walks onto Raw like Brock Lesnar didn't just threaten to dominate his existence 5 minutes earlier. And this is where the energy changed completely. Because Brock looked ready for fear. What he got instead was resistance. Oba stands at the entrance ramp staring directly at Brock. No blinking. No pacing. No fake tough guy yelling. Sometimes silence is louder than screaming, and this was one of those moments. The crowd started losing their minds because now it felt real. Not fantasy booking real. Actual collision course real. You could see Brock studying him carefully too. That's another thing people missed. Brock wasn't casually looking around. He was analyzing Oba like a predator checking whether another predator belongs in the same territory. And honestly, Oba passed the test. That might have made Brock even angrier. Then Oba finally speaks. And instead of trying to outshout Brock or deliver some over-the-top catchphrase, he says something simple. Calm. Controlled. Almost disrespectfully calm. You don't rule over me. That line hit harder than a chair shot. Because everybody expected intensity. Nobody expected composure. Oba sounded like a man who genuinely believed Brock Lesnar was just another obstacle. Not an unstoppable beast. Not a legend. Just another obstacle. That's terrifying confidence. And suddenly the crowd started realizing this feud might not go the way people expected. See, Brock Lesnar destroys fear. That's what made him special for years. He walks into a room, everybody panics, and he feeds off it. But Oba Femi doesn't seem afraid. At all. And when Brock can't smell fear, things get unpredictable very quickly. The tension keeps building. Brock steps forward. Oba steps forward too. Security starts appearing near ringside because WWE officials clearly wanted 0 lawsuits tonight. Smart decision, honestly. You don't casually let 2 human tanks sprint at each other indoors. But then Brock laughs. And that laugh felt wrong. Not funny wrong. Horror movie wrong. It was the laugh of somebody realizing they finally found a challenge worth destroying. He tells Oba he has no idea what kind of hell he's stepping into. He starts talking about all the people he conquered. Legends. Champions. Olympians. Giants. He reminds everybody that he ended careers before Oba even arrived in WWE. And every sentence sounds less like bragging and more like a warning carved into stone. But Oba never backs down.